Bandeyam Shri Guru Shiyatha Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Sya Om Ajnana Timarandasya Yanajana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurva Bhistam Supurakam Gurganara Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipunam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govinda Bidam Ujwalam Varatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Mande Vishwagurun Shah Divyat Bhagavat Prem Noe Bija Pradam Devam Divyatanum Suchandavaranam Balarka Chelan Sandrananda Puram Sareka Varanam Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhantanidim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Bandetam Shubharam Mareka Sharanam Nyashishvara Sridharam Manchakopatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahamaranyaya Krishna Prema Pranayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So reading from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Hidden Treasure of the Sweet Absolute, with translation and commentary by Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev-Goswami Maharaj. And we're in chapter 7, which is called Jñana-Vijñana Yoga, Knowledge and Realization of the Supreme. And this is verse number 11. Balam balavatam chaham karma raga vivarjitam dharma virudo bhuteshu kamosmi paratarshava. O Arjuna, I am the strength of the strong without selfishness and attachment, and I am the desire for procreation in the living beings, which does not contravene the universal principles of religion. So here, Krishna is explaining how he can be perceived in our daily life, as the manifestation of qualities which are extraordinarily wonderful and which we experience. He says that that wonderful quality is a manifestation of me. O Arjuna, I am the strength of the strong without selfishness and attachment, and I'm the desire for procreation in living beings which does not contravene the universal principles of religion. So we're always seeing, sometimes we see extraordinary acts of heroism performed by those persons who are unselfish and unattached, but act for the welfare of everyone. And then Krishna says, I'm the desire for procreation in the living beings, which does not contravene the universal principles of religion. And we see that desire for procreation occurs in all species of life. And certainly here we find that there is an added quality in that desire for procreation in human beings. And here Krishna says he is that desire which does not contravene the universal principles of religion. So this is all the nobleness of actions, and they're performed in accord with the principles of Dharma, with the principles of what is actually proper actions. Dharma virudo bhuteshu. Jaichaiva Sattvika Bhava Rajasas Tamasas Chaye Mata Evete Tanviri Natveham Teshu Te Mai. Furthermore, know that all things of the nature of goodness, passion, and ignorance are manifest from me alone. Nevertheless, I am not in them. They, subordinate to me, are in me. Oh, excuse me. O Arjuna, here. Furthermore, know that all things of the nature of goodness, passion, and ignorance are manifest from me alone. Nevertheless, I am not in them. They, subordinate to me, are in me. So, in this way, we see that Krishna is a person, and he's not devoid of energy. This is the quality of the Absolute, that he has innumerable energies. We've heard about the major energies, which are the Antaranga Shakti, which is a spiritual energy. And then we've heard of the Bahiranga Shakti, which is the maya-shakti, or the illusory energy. And then we've heard of Tatastha Shakti, which is the living entities. These are all different energies. Every person is part of the, or as Prabhupada used to say, part and parcel of the energy of the Lord. So, and here Krishna says, furthermore, know that all things of the nature of goodness and passion and ignorance are manifest from me alone. Nevertheless, I am not in them. They, subordinate to me, are in me. So, Krishna has his different energies. And it is said that this material manifestation is a special dispensation made for the living entities to be able to come back to the Lord by developing their devotional service. But Krishna says one should understand that everything is working as a result of his energies, but he himself is not involved, and we can say not responsible for the actions and reactions which occur by the living entities misusing their minute independence. Everyone is possessed of free will, but if we want results which will ultimately lead us to elevate ourselves, to better ourselves, to come to receive the mercy of the Lord, then we should try to do so with a spirit of service towards him. Trivir gunamayar bhavair ebi sarvam idam jagat mohitam nabhijanati mam ebya param avyayam trivir gunamayar bhavair ebi sarvam idam jagat mohitam nabhijanati mam ebya param avyayam. The entire world of living beings is deluded by the three modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can know me, the Supreme Lord, who am transcendental to these modes and immutable. So when one is under the control of the material nature and covered by these different coverings, the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance, then one cannot get actual perception of the Lord. Now, in ignorance there is dense darkness, and in passion that the density is reduced, but still it is a covering. And in goodness, one can have some glimpses of, from afar, what is a spiritual nature. But we hear also of the quality of Vishuddha Sattva, that those who take the spiritual life, they can become, they can see this world and experience it under the mode of Vishuddha Sattva, of purified goodness. Normally there's always some struggle between the different modes of nature, but those who are serving the Lord can rise above the modes of material nature. Okay.
Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj ki jai.
Nevertheless, I am not in them. They, subordinate to me, are in me. The entire world of living beings is deluded by the three modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can know me, the Supreme Lord, who am transcendental to these modes and immutable. And we can also understand that just as we have our personality and we have our qualities, the Lord has his personality and qualities, but his personality and his qualities are not under the control of the material nature. So some persons think that if the Lord had a body and he had actions, etc., that would be limited, that would be limiting the Supreme. But in this case it is not, because the Lord has his qualities and his actions, but his qualities and actions are not under the control of the material nature. So then how can we come to the level of serving the Lord and be not subjected to the illusion caused by the modes of material nature? So the Lord answers in this next verse. He says, Daiviyesha guna mama maya duratyaya mam eva ye prapadyante mayam metam tarantite. Daiviyesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mam eva ye prapadyante mayam metam tarantite. My alluring, trimodal, illusory potency is practically insurmountable. However, those who take shelter in me can overcome this powerful obstacle. My alluring, trimodal, illusory energy is practically insurmountable. However, those who take shelter in me can overcome this powerful obstacle. Now, in this verse, Krishna refers to this material energy which consists of the three modes of nature. He says, Daiviyesha, that this is Daivi Prakriti, and it's not within the scope of the living entities on the basis of their own strength, by their own endeavor to overcome the control of the material nature. Or in particular, Mama Maya Duratya. No one can overcome Krishna's Maya. Mama Maya Duratya. It's very difficult to overcome that. So sometimes I had this saying. He said that Abraham Lincoln, he said, you can fool all of the people some of the time, and some of the people all of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time. But my comment on that was, but Maya fools all the people all the time. Everyone is under the control of Maya, and no one can independently overcome that control. And why? Because it's Daivi Prakriti. It's divine energy, which consists of these modes of material nature. But here Krishna says, Mam eva ye prapanyante. he says that, however, those who take shelter in me, mam eva ye prapadyante, those who surrender to me, then mayam etam tarantite. They're able to cross this almost insurmountable maya or illusion. Because how they can overcome the control of maya? Because when the living entities surrender to Krishna, maya herself releases him. She releases him. So this verse is very important. Daivi yesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mam eva ye prapadyante mayamitam tarantite. That when the living entity surrenders to Krishna and sees one's eternal relationship with Krishna, identifies himself or herself as Krishna's eternal servant, then maya gladly releases that living entity. There's no longer even thinks of controlling that living entity, because that living entity is a servant of the Lord, and maya herself is a servant of the Lord. So Namam duskrituino mudha prapadyante nararama maya parita jnana asuram bhavam ashrita. Namam duskritino mudha prapadyante nararama maya parita jnana asuram bhavam ashrita. These four kinds of wrongdoers do not surrender unto me. Fruitive workers, comparable to animals, fruitive workers here compared to animals. Fallen persons who take the highest path, devotion, but later reject it. Prapadyante nararama. Considering it inadequate or worthless. So fruitive workers, comparable to animals. Fallen persons who take the highest path, devotion, but later reject it, considering it inadequate or worthless. Those whose knowledge covered by illusion, maya, despite their scriptural study, they consider that only the form of Lord Narayana is worshipable, and they think that Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, and other factual forms are merely mortal. And the demoniac, impersonalists who dismember my form by their arrows of false logic, resembling demons like Jarasandha. So, Dhamam duskritino mudha prapadyante nararama maya parita jnana asuram bhavam ashrita. These four kinds of wrongdoers do not surrender unto me, fruitive workers, comparable to animals. Duskritino mudha. Mudha means ass. So these fruitive workers, they're like asses. An ass, you can hold the carrot in front of his nose, sometimes attach the carrot to a stick, and the ass will walk all day trying to get the carrot, in this way being led on. So fruitive workers comparable to animals. Fallen persons who take the highest path, devotion, but later reject it, considering it inadequate or worthless. Those are prapadyante nararama. They are lowest of man, lowest of mankind, nararama. Prapadyante nararama. Narama. Fallen persons are those who take the path of devotion but later reject it, considering inadequate or worthless. None of these persons prapadyante, none of the namam duskritino mudha prapadyante, none of them will surrender to Krishna. Nararama, lowest of mankind. take the devotional service and later reject it, considering it inadequate or worthless. Maya-parita jnana. Those whose knowledge is covered by illusion. Maya, despite their scriptural study, they consider that only the form of Lord Narayan is worshipable, and they think that Lord Krishna, Lord Ram, and other factual forms are merely mortal. Mayavadis think that. Maya-parita jnana and the Surambhavamashrita. And the demoniac, impersonalists who dismember me, who dismember my form by their arrows of false logic, resembling demons like Janardan. And I heard Prabhupada apply this verse very nicely. We were in Calcutta, and it was during a time of great unrest in Calcutta. Some revolution was going on, and the students in the colleges, they were all very much influenced by this mood of revolution. The revolution was that of what's called Naxalites, or those influenced by the concept of Maoist communism that was going on there. And we went to one of the colleges where many students were, and we had kirtan, and then one of the students, one of their leaders, audaciously stood up and challenged Prabhupada, and he said, "We see that you have with you many foreigners here, and they seem to be very interested in this. But we are Bengalis, and you don't find any of us having much interest in this. So why do you think that is?" And then Srila Prabhupada quoted this verse. He said, well, if you don't have any interest in this, it must be because you're one of four kinds of persons. Namam duskritino mudha prapadyante naradama maya parita jnana asuram bhavamashrita. He said, always duskritina, always impious. Namam duskritino mudha, perhaps fruit of workers like the ass. They just will work all day long, have no other value in life but to work like an ass. Where he said, Namam duskritino mudha prapadyante naradama, or lowest among mankind, have interest in everything except for what is spiritual life and for what is devotion. Or he said, maya parita jnana, or students who study, but all their knowledge is taken away by illusion. Maya parita jnana. And he said, or maybe you're just demons, he said. Demons, maybe you're just demons. But then he said, but please don't take this as my words. I'm not saying this, but these are the words of Krishna, and he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that's, in this way, I thought Prabhupada answered the question very, very well, why none of them had any interest. They were trying to politicize the event, but Prabhupada just presented it in this manner, citing this verse. Chatur vida bhajanti mam jana sukritin Arjuna arto jigyasar artarti jnani cha bharatar Seva. So we heard four kinds of persons have no interest in the spiritual life. And now, O Arjuna, best of the Bharatas, four kinds of persons have the fortune to worship me: the afflicted, the seeker of knowledge, the seeker of happiness, and the self-realized. Or so, Chatur vida bhajanti mam jana sukritino Arjuna arto jigyasur artarti jnani cha bharatar Seva. O Arjuna, best of the Bharatas, four kinds of persons have the fortune to worship me: the afflicted, the seeker of knowledge, seeker of happiness, and the self-realized. So we can see these are pious persons, and they take to devotional service. Two are more materially inclined, and two are more taking to the side of spiritual life. So, first the arto and jigyasura-arti. So one is in search of knowledge. Well, pardon me. Arto, one is disturbed, suffering, looking for an end for one's suffering, let's see. One who's suffering from disease or other afflictions, so that's arta. And suffering. And arto jigyasur arti. One is one suffering, jigyasu, one seeking scriptural knowledge, arti, one desiring earthly or heavenly happiness. So the two kinds of looking towards the material nature is one who is suffering, looking for an end of suffering, and one who is arti, who's looking for some kind of earthly or heavenly happiness. So, and then we have two on the spiritual side, jigyasur, which means who's sometimes this is translated as curious, that jigyasu is looking for some kind of scriptural knowledge or knowledge of the soul, who's curious. That's coming to the spiritual side. And jnani-cha bharachar-sabha. And the jnani, who's actually looking for spiritual knowledge. Let's see. So, O Arjuna, best of the Bhartas, 4 kinds of persons had the fortune to worship me: the afflicted, the seeker of knowledge, the seeker of happiness, and the self-realized. And here we're hearing of describing jnani as the purified knower of the soul. So anyway, in this verse, we're defining these words in this way, that these are still, we can say, they're still on the material side, all, but by coming in contact with the Vaishnavas, with the devotees of the Lord, they can take the devotional service. But these 4 kinds come with different kinds of material desires. Someone is afflicted or suffering. Someone is looking for some material gain, arti, that is desiring some economic benefit or elevation. Then there's those who are curious, and those who are actually seeking for spiritual knowledge. Now they're all within the material nature, we can say, under the control of the material nature. But the 4 previous kinds of persons, the mamduskratito mudha, the mudhas, naradamas, maya-parityagyana, and asuras, they're all impious, and they will not take to any spiritual path. And these 4 kinds of persons will take towards spiritual path for different reasons. Someone's afflicted, someone is suffering or is afflicted, someone is looking forward to some material improvement, to improve their material or economic situation. Someone is curious, or someone who's actually seeking after spiritual knowledge. Now they're all coming from the material side, but if they come in contact with the devotee, they can take to devotional service. As opposed to those who are duskritinas, who are impious, they'll never take to devotional service. Or we can say, in the sense of this comparison, 4 kinds of persons can benefit and 4 kinds of persons cannot benefit because of their impious nature. But still, even that can be overcome by the special mercy of the Lord or the devotees, just like in the case of Jagai and Madai. They're strongly in the level of illusion, but still, by the extraordinary mercy of Nityananda Prabhu and then Mahaprabhu, they encountered some amazing display of mercy, which changed them. Tesham Jnani Nitya Yukta Eka Bhaktir Visishyate Priyo Hi Jnanino Chartam Aham Sa Cha Mama Priya. Tesham Jnani Nitya Yukta Eka Bhaktir Visishyate Priyo Hi Jnanino Chartam Aham Sa Cha Mama Priya. Of these 4 kinds of devotees, best is the self-realized person who is my pure devotee and whose consciousness is fully absorbed in me. For I, Shyam Sundar, am very dear to him and he is very dear to me. So, among them, Jnani, the self-realized person, Eka Bhakti, my pure devotee. So, of these 4 kinds of persons, best is the self-realized person who is my pure devotee and whose consciousness is fully absorbed in me. For I, Shyam Sundar, am very dear to him and he is very dear, and he is dear to me. Tesham Jnani Nitya Yukta Eka Bhaktir Visishyate Priyo Hi Jnanino Chartam Aham Sacha Mama Priya. Udara sarva evaite jnani tvatmaiva me matam astita sa iyuktatma mam evanu tamam gatim. Udara sarva evaite jnani tvatmaiva me matam astita sa iyuktatma mam evanu tamam gatim. Certainly they are all noble souls, dear to me, yet the spiritually self-realized soul is as beloved to me as my own self, for he has given his heart to me as his only shelter and ultimate goal of life. Certainly they are all noble souls, dear to me, yet the spiritually self-realized soul is as beloved to me as my own self, for he has given his heart to me as his only shelter and ultimate goal of life. Udara sarve vaite jnani tvatmaiva me matam astita sa iyuktatma mam evanu tamam gatim. So that person, and elsewhere Krishna speaks of that person. He says that after many, many births and deaths, one who is actually perfect in knowledge surrenders unto me. Let's see. It's actually the next verse. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavamam prapadyante vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sadurlava. So this is what is meant when we're talking about knowledge. Here it says, Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavamam prapadyante vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sadurlava. After many, many births, the enlightened soul, blessed with devotional association, realizes that everything is of the nature of or subordinate to Vasudeva, to Krishna. And thus he surrenders unto me. Such a great soul is very rare. So before we've heard about jnanis, and we're always thinking that there is karma and there's jnana, and the Lord is not really the property of either the karmi or the jnani. But here we're talking about those persons who come to the conclusion in a knowledgeable way, bahunam janmanam ante, after having gone through many, many births and deaths, bahunam janmanam ante jnanavamam prapadyante vasudeva. Their knowledge has led them to understand Jnana-Vamam prapadyante vasudeva, that Vasudeva sarvamiti, that Krishna is everything, that there's nothing beyond Krishna, and they will surrender to Krishna and serve him with all their heart. Jnana-Vamam prapadyante vasudeva sarvamiti, that Krishna is everything. Sa mahatma sadurlava. Such a great soul is very special, very rarely found. So, after many births, the enlightened soul, blessed with devotional association, realizes that everything is of the nature of or subordinate to Vasudeva, which is Krishna, and thus he surrenders unto me. Such a great soul is very rare. Kamaistaistar rita-jnana prapadyantenya devata tam tam niyamamastaya prakritya niyatasvaya. Kamaistaistar rita-jnana prapadyantenya devata tam tam niyamamastaya prakritya niyatasvaya. Persons misled by worldly desires, being governed by their own natures, worship other godly personalities, like the sun god and the many demigods, adopting the corresponding rituals to attain their objectives. Persons misled by worldly desires. So those who are just here, the word kamaistarter means here it says particular worldly desires based on likes and dislikes. But it also means under the influence of kama, of lust. They have lusty desires for so many things based on their likes and dislikes. So, and rita-jnana, they're of broken intelligence. Their intelligence is rita-jnana. They don't have real knowledge. Kamaistaistar rita-jnana prapadyante nya devata. They'll surrender to many different gods and demigods for satisfaction of their mundane desires. They'll go for good wealth, for good wife or good husband. They'll take up the worship of so many demigods. And those persons often will come to the erroneous conclusion thinking that Krishna is just another one of the demigods. So that's because they can't understand kamaisthaishtarita jnana. Their knowledge is actually destroyed, taken away by lust. They'll take up the worship of the demigods. And then tam niyamam astaya. Then they worship those different gods. Tam niyamam astaya. In their own, we can say, their own capricious way, their own way of, just like many persons will say, you fast and you do this and you do that. And it's just according to their own whims. Tam niyamamastaya prakritya niyatasvaya. According to their particular material nature. They'll go on like that. So here we have this verse. Persons misled by worldly desires, being governed by their own natures, they'll worship other godly personalities like the sun god and the many demigods, adopting the corresponding rituals to attain their objectives. Whatever their objective is, they'll take up that. This is very important to me to attain this material result. That's there, you can say, going to the demigod emporium, searching for demigods that will satisfy their different needs, just like someone may go to a gymnasium or something according to that particular goal that they're following. So these persons they're under the control of different material desires, having their likes and dislikes, and they'll follow this particular nature or that particular nature, and they'll worship this demigod or that demigoddess for the satisfaction of their just different mundane or material goals or desires. Yo yam tanum bhakta shradayarchitum Ichati tasya chalam shradham tam eva viridhami aham yo yam tanum bhakta shradayarchitum ichati tasya chalam shradham tam eva viridhami aham yo yam tanum bhakta shradayarchitum Ichati tasya chalam shradham tam eva vidadhami aham. According to a person's desire, as his faith grows to worship a particular demigod, I, as a super soul in his heart, make his faith strong in that demigod, representing a form of me. So the demigods are actually administrators under the direction of Krishna. But here Krishna says, the persons are taking to the worship of the demigods, and Krishna says, according to a person's desire, as his faith grows to worship a particular demigod, I, as a super soul in his heart, make his faith strong in that demigod, representing a form of me. So, but actually the results, everything is coming from Krishna. It may look through as though it's coming from the agency of a particular demigod, but actually Krishna is giving the persons the faith to worship that demigod, and he himself is, you can say, ultimately the one who's rewarding them for their actions, but it appears it's coming through the agency of the demigod. Satya shradaya yuktas tasyaradam Satya shradaya yuktas tasyaradhanam ihate labate cha tatakaman mayaiva vihitanitan Sataya Shradaya Yuktas Tasya Radhanam Ihate Labate Cha Tata Kaman Mayaiva Vihitan Itan. His faith, nourished by me, such a devotee continues worshipping the deity of that demigod and attains all his desired objects from that deity. Again, this happiness by my sanction alone. Again, this happens by my sanction alone, since I am the supersoul situated within the heart of the demigod too. So there's some arrangement that happens, but it's all happening according to the sanction of Krishna. Sataya Shradaya Yuktas Tasya Radhanam Ihate Labate Cha Tata Kaman Mayaiva Vihitan Itan. His faith nourished by me, his faith gets stronger by the arrangement of the Lord. Such a devotee continues worshipping the deity of that demigod and attains all his desired objects from that deity. Again, this happens by my sanction alone, since I am the supersoul situated within the heart of the demigod too, or also. So one thinks that the demigod is giving one the desired object or goal which that person is perceiving. But actually all these results, the strength to worship the demigod, the facility of the demigod to satisfy the worshiper, everything is actually coming through the agency of the Lord. It's all being allowed and facilitated through the agency of the Lord, of Krishna. Andavat tu phalam tesham tadbhavati alpamedhasam devan deva yajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. Andavat tu phalam tesham tadbhavati alpamedhasam devan deva yajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. But the fruit obtained by those unwise worshippers of the demigods is temporary. They reach the gods they worship, but my devotees come to me. So those persons are getting strength, they're continuing their worship of the demigods, they're getting the desired worship results from the worship that they're pursuing, but all these things are not the path of the devotees, because here these worshippers of the demigods are defined as unwise, because the results which they're pursuing are temporary. They will disappear. One will enter into the cycle of birth and death, and the fruits that one gains will be lost. They reach the gods they worship, but my devotees come to me. So I'll stop at this point, and let's see. Tomorrow we'll continue. Very nice chapter. This chapter has much importance for the devotees. Jñana-Vijñana Yoga, knowledge and realization of the Supreme. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohan Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Gadadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raguna Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raguna Jai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Jaoite Vignana Shabhista Puran Jai Gosai Jarmui Janardan Dasabar Padarinu Mora Panchagran Kader Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanibas Janame Janame More Abilas Jai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilabas Radha Krishna Nitya Leela Korila Prakash Anande Bolo Hare Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majayaman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Guriya Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratamula Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Guriya Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratamula So, two important events on the calendar today. One is the Kir Doi Mahotsav of Raghunath Das Goswami in Panihati Kir Doi Mahotsav. When Raghunath Das Goswami asked his father to be able to go to Panihati because Nityananda Prabhu was there and he wanted to be able to see Nityananda Prabhu, to be with Nityananda. He said, if you don't give me permission to go, I will leave my body. And Raghunath Das' father, of course, had concern that Raghunath should not run away and go join Mahaprabhu, but he acceded to let Raghunath Das go nearby to Panihati to see Nityananda Prabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu asked Raghunath Das to arrange a festival of Chira. I said Kir, but it's actually Chir Doi Mahotsav. Chira is rice flakes, and it's like I know I've seen it translated in the English Chaitanya Charitamrita as chip rice, but it's not really in that sense. Just like you have seen wheat flakes or corn flakes, cereal. The rice flakes are something like that. They're flakes, and then they're washed with water, and in the process of being washed several times, they become soft, and then they're mixed with yogurt and with some gur or molasses, and also with some banana, or they can be mixed with milk and banana and sandesh or something like that. And they're very nice preparations made like this with kir, and in particular the kir, not kir, I keep on saying that wrong, it's chira. It's not kir. Kir is like cooked down condensed milk, has nothing to do with that. This is chira. This is sometimes called poha in the Indian stores, but it's in Bengal it's called chira. And it's this rice flakes that's made soft, and then in particular, because Raghunath Das isn't coming from a Brahmin family, but Nityananda Prabhu is, and so the non-Brahmins will not cook for the Brahmins, but Nityananda said, you make a festival for us with this chira, with this rice, with this rice flakes, and with some yogurt and another pot with milk and everything, and you feed all myself and all my devotees. And Srila Govinda Maharaj said, when he was young, he and his family, his father was a Brahmin, of course, Govinda Maharaj was, but they lived in basically a cowherd community, and he said many times the cowherd persons would invite them to their house and feed them, but often they would do so with either muri, which is puffed rice, or chira, which is the soaked rice, and they would make feasts like that. So this is what Raghunath Das was asked by Nityananda Prabhu to make festival like this. And it attracted the whole town and people from beyond the town. And in this way, Raghunath Das satisfied Nityananda Prabhu, and Nityananda Prabhu was very pleased by Raghunath Das Goswami and said, you will get the mercy of Mahaprabhu and you will be placed under the care of Swarup Damodar. And that happened. But then in the evening, they were all invited to the house of Raghava Pandit, and they went to the house of Raghava Pandit, and Raghava Pandit there, he, at the Chira Mahotsav, the Mahaprabhu came, and Nityananda Prabhu was sticking chira in the mouth of Mahaprabhu. Some people could see that, but most people could not. But this is called the Avirbhav feature of the Lord. And this way, Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu gave their mercy to Raghunath Das. And in the house of Raghava Pandit, it's also said that Mahaprabhu is in his Avirbhav feature wherever Nityananda Prabhu is dancing, at Srivas Sangam, where Kirtan is going on in the house of Srivas Thakur, where Mother Sachi is feeding Nimai, and also in the place of the deity worship of Raghava Pandit at his place. And then in the evening they went to the house of Raghava Pandit, and also Mahaprabhu came there, and like this. Then Raghava Pandit said, now your material entanglement is finished. And after that, by Raghunath Das Goswami was able to escape. There were normally 11 guards watching over him all the time. But one case, Yadunandana Acharya came. He was the guru of Raghunath Das Goswami's family, and he came during the before the rising of the sun, and he wanted, at the last part of the night, he wanted to talk with Raghunath Das. Raghunath Das went with Yadunandana Acharya, but no one took any notice because they saw, oh, he's with the Acharya and there's no problem. But then once Raghunath was outside the compounds of the house and everything, he thought, now there's no guards, now is the chance for me to escape. And then he proceeded towards Puri, where Mahaprabhu was, and he took a circuitous path, and after 11 days arrived there. Only 3 days was he eating, but he arrived there. 8 days not eating. Then he came with Mahaprabhu, and then Mahaprabhu put him, as Nityananda had predicted, Mahaprabhu put him under the care of Swarup Damodar. And then Raghunath Das is participating in all the Leela of Mahaprabhu, and he's, along with Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Roy, who are serving Mahaprabhu, and they're very busy. Also, Raghunath Das is helping, but he's also observing all these pastimes. Swarup Damodar has a notebook, and then later Raghunath Das went to Vrindavan And then he was speaking all Mahaprabhu's later Leela to the devotees. So today is that big festival that was arranged to please and satisfy Nityananda Prabhu and led to the great, we can say, late Raghunath Das getting always had Mahaprabhu's mercy, but he went to Puri. And then today is also the disappearance day of Bhakti Chandan Parvat Maharaj. Today is his disappearance day, and I always remember Parvat Maharaj as a very, very wonderful friend. Like always, sometimes we're playing like children, sometimes we're arguing, but he's always so nice, and he was very determined. He would go to India 6 months of the year and collect there for Govinda Maharaj and for Acharya Maharaj, and he always did that very well. And also here when we're in Soquel, we will go to San Jose, Sunnyvale, to Fremont, and to other places, and visit the Indians. And we would collect, especially for Janmashtami, but we would collect boga for the whole year. And Parvat Maharaj was very good, and we went, and all the Indians were very attached to him. They liked him very much, and you know, he had the nature and the figure of a sadhu, a big body, sometimes with a big beard, and good-natured, and the Indians very much liked him. Had a real feeling for Parvat Maharaj. And last year, this time, he left this world. A week later, Pushta Krishna left also. So that's coming up next week. And then and if Rishabdev leaves, and his disappearance is in these days. So all three of these persons, within approximately, like 7-8 days of each other, Parvat Maharaj, Rishabdev Prabhu, Pushta Krishna Prabhu, all left at this time. So today, Parvat Maharaj's disappearance day. So we chanted Hari Haraya now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Haribo. Nitai Gora Haribo, Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhari Ju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Ashtatara Sarashi Srimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Ashtatara Sarashi Srimad Srila Bhakti Rakshak Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidanand Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Bharga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhattadash Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Premsiko Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Bhagavat Ki Jai. Narottam Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vishvavaranya Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Acharya Brinda Ki Jai. Nandakoti Vaishnava Brinda Ki Jai. Shri Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Dham Mayapur Ki Jai. Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshada Shri Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Shri Koladvip Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Soquel Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopi Govardhan Shyam Kuna Radha Kunda Kulindi Yamuna Ju Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj Ki Jai.